Good morning to you. Today is Wednesday, somewhere around the 25th. Swine repellent is still burning it up. I don't think that fella's slept in days. He doesn't do drugs though, so that's all good. Just has that natural kind of metabolism. I did that video yesterday on the right to drive, as in the right to travel does not equal the right to drive. And your boy James Freeman came back in with we're twisting words. Oh, you mean like legalese, where you guys twist words? I don't know how many of you have ever read a court opinion, but you could probably read it and understand, at least in general, what's going on. You may have to look up a word or two because you don't understand it, you've never seen it before, or you don't know how it's being used in that context, but that is unironically what Black's Law Dictionary is for. It's a dictionary that tells you how terms are often used in a legal sense. But all the words that they use in law are English or some Latin thing that's just a fragment of being around forever. But one thing you'll find is that it's not the lawyers. Well, let me rephrase this. In my experience, it's not the lawyers who are throwing around like impropria persona or anything like that. It's who are trying to confuse people by using more vague references or less commonly used terms. Like everybody knows what pro se is, or at least figures it out really quickly, or pro per, what have you. Hey, relax. God damn it, it's a skunk. My dog loves skunks. They're gonna get me sprayed at one point. That was your skunk moment of the morning. Legalese is something that often you'll hear sob-sits say. I may use it every once in a while, kind of jokingly. But Carl Lentz, probably didn't originate with him because Carl isn't very bright, but Carl Lentz uses it a lot. He's another sovereign citizen who never wins in court. He's I'm just an idiot. You have to go in and tell him you're an idiot and you don't speak legalese. The fun thing that James Freeman doesn't understand is that all this nonsense that he thinks is new and exciting, this is the same old shtick that we've beaten down time and again. And by when I say we, I mean people in general who are into debunking sovereign citizen and other legalistic nonsense. Sovereign citizens, their tactics don't work. And Black's Law Dictionary, when properly used, is to look up the definition of a word or phrase you don't use, and then to select, of the various potential definitions, select the one that most appropriately fits in context with the sentence and with the paragraph. Somebody else pointed me to 18 USC, I believe it was section 31 in that video, where it defines, for the purpose of this chapter, a motor vehicle is defined as. And it's for the purpose of this chapter. That's the important thing in that you need to read. I've stated before, in many statutes, you'll find that they use very particular meanings of words, and legislatures will go out of their way to afford you the correct definition that is being used in that chapter or in that section or whatever. And they will label it as such. For the purpose of this chapter, this word means X. For the purpose of this section, this word means Y. Because words have multiple meanings, just like vessel. Just like convey. But no, legalese is actually, so every industry has its own terms of art. And it's specific phrases that mean a specific thing. Like a motion to quash notice on a deposition. You're like, what the hell does quash mean? Well, you could kind of figure it out just by the sound of it, that you're actually trying to get the judge to nullify the notice on a deposition. What's the notice of a deposition? Well, it puts you on notice that you have to go to a deposition. I mean, you can figure this stuff out. It's not terribly hard, but terms of art are in every industry. Computers, they talk about flash memory. Well, what does that mean? I mean, does it make a bright light? Does it? No, that's not what they're talking about. Or you have your commonly used words and phrases that are so common to the point where you can not even say the words anymore. You could just kind of, like in the trucking industry, you have a BOL. You don't bother to say it. You have a COSO. There are lots. Every industry, every profession has terms of art. And the fun thing about lawyers and lawyering is that our profession has been around longer than computers and longer than cars. And so we have more antiquated terms that had a specific meaning when we started using them and no longer have that specific meaning in the general vernacular. But that doesn't mean that it's like, that doesn't mean that it's a weird or different or exciting language. I wonder if this person is going to see me. Maybe. We'll find out. Hello. Hello. Hey, buddy. Did I stop? Did I stop? Huh? Come on. Where you go? There you go. All right, you good? All right. Oh. That car is not running very clean. Ugh. Anyway. So yeah, terms of art are common in every industry, and lawyering has a long history, and so there are a lot more older terms of art in it. Oh boy, puppy's coming. All right. I got somebody who thinks he's smart has deduced the park that I am often filming in or around, and went out of his way to subtly tell me that he knows it. And I thought to myself, well, that's really weird. Number one, am I supposed to be scared of this guy? And no, I'm not. This guy, I don't think this guy could get to me if he, I guess he could if he wanted to, but that would really screw up his current situation. And I've seen this guy, and I'm not terribly intimidated by him. And you may notice that I'm out walking around at dark dark 30, and I don't get bugged by the druggies and homeless people who camp around there. So I don't know what he thinks he's gonna do if he's trying to intimidate me. And then I thought to myself, you're looking at this very superficially. I don't think that's what he's intending to do at all. Because context. And then I think to myself, he is trying to incite me into doing a video on him. And that actually makes sense, and that actually fits all the facts. And so because it fits all the facts, I'm like, huh. Well, obviously the last thing I'm going to do is a video on him. I'm not even going to mention his name because, oh, I'm a stubborn cuss. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. Fun things. On a Nasty Nathaniel video, there was just recently, they were talking to a guy who presumably is employed by the state of California as a parole officer. Maybe he's employed in some sort of a county or city position. And as he's wont to do, California Guardian screams out at the man that the man doesn't have any First Amendment rights because he's a government employee. And I thought, that's really weird. That's really weird. Like, why? Where does this come from? I mean, maybe in a certain context he would have fewer rights. So an employer can control an employee's speech. That's, while you're working for someone, that someone has the right to control your speech. So if you're a salesman selling cars and you're on the car lot, your employer can terminate you for saying bad things about the vehicles you're selling, or terminate you for saying bad things about the company you're working for, or terminate you for swearing at a customer. But that doesn't mean you don't have a First Amendment protection if you're working as a salesman on a car lot, right? And if you're speaking on behalf, if you're speaking in your official capacity as a government employee, then it is actually the government speaking. So the First Amendment, again, wouldn't apply in that particular context because the government can speak, and the First Amendment is a protection of the right of an individual to speak from government intervention. So I'm wondering what, if any, citations California Guardian will be able to supply to me. It's the general shit show of people making assertions that are completely unfounded based on things that they've heard over and over again on these YouTube videos and just believing it to be true because raisins. I want to say Blue Ghost Media. Yeah, Blue Ghost Media. I've been subbed to him a while. I don't entirely remember why I see him pop up in my feed a lot. He doesn't seem to do a lot of audits, but he did some. He did a jail. He did it completely wrong. He tried to film the interior, and he got all upset that they very politely and forcefully pushed him out. I mean, as politely and least physically harmful to him as you possibly can, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I watched it. He had asked me to take a look at it and do a review of it, and I had done so, and I thought, oh, this guy's auditing, I'll follow him, and then I don't think he's done any auditing since. But that seems to kind of be the way this sort of community operates. Again, community in huge air quotes. Anyway, he posted a video by Reason TV. It was basically a 4-minute advertisement for a private security firm who's just so amazing in Detroit. This private firm is charging people $10 to be escorted into buildings and things like that. And he's like, oh, could this be a solution to the policing the way it's done in our police state? I don't actually accept that this is a police state. Just because there are police in a state doesn't make it a police state. But I guess reasonable minds can reasonably differ about where police state starts. It's just in the grand scheme of things, as far as police intrusiveness into the ordinary person's life, this nation's pretty low. So I guess perspective is important. But yeah, I don't think that that resorting to private security is really going to be terribly helpful. I don't know if you've noticed this, but not everybody can afford their own private security. And as we determined in my conversation with James Freeman. Oh no, I remember this spot. There's something he wants to eat there. Anyway, from that video I did with him, we determined that if a private individual hires the police, then the police will be working for that individual. And they won't be trying to accomplish justice. They will be trying to carry out the whims of that individual. I don't want to go sprinkler. Well, we'll let you go sprinkler time, I guess. I guess you get few enough joys in life. Yeah, so I don't know how and it was literally a commercial. It was a fluff piece on the security company. Your toys went away. Nope, we're not going back that direction. Yeah, I don't think there is a solution to police. If you look, pretty much every society everywhere has, once you get past a certain kind of minimum threshold where people can and do start to diversify, and you start to have things like private property, then all of a sudden it's just inevitable that some sort of police functionality, some sort of court functionality will spring up. I mean, it comes up in various guises. Like it could be a military police or a tribal council that forms up and sends out like posses or mobs to go enact local justice or whatever. But it's pretty much inevitable that you're going to end up with some form of policing power, and just changing the way those people get paid I don't think is going to change outcomes much. If you steal, you'll still be punished for stealing. If you trespass, you'll still be punished for trespass. Doesn't change a whole heck of a lot. I think that's about it. I think that was about all I had for today. Let me just think for a minute. I talked about legalese, and that's basically James Freeman's way of saying words are hard. And because words are hard, then that somehow justifies them picking the wrong definitions of words to try to apply, I guess. Talked about the subtle, unsubtle threat or something. Oh yeah, it's weird. Like I guess somebody, I'm living rent free in somebody's mind so much that they're actually generating porn pictures of me, which is actually flattering. I honestly don't care. I mean, if you've seen me in action trolling, like when I'm actually just getting my troll on, I have the humor of a 13-year-old. So if someone actually did a really good Photoshop of me to the point where Swine thinks that it was actually me, then, you know, congratulations, send me the picture. I think it'd be hilarious. But then, yeah, I've got somebody else concerned trolling a prominent auditor has taken to concern trolling me about, oh, they'll start to chase your family and I don't know what you want. My family really loves guns. My parents are retired. I've said they live with my sister. My sister and her husband are Navy or Navy vets. You get to pick which. and they love, I mean, they got the Mullen Labe stickers, and they spend time at the range, and they both concealed carry. Well, one of them, when that person goes on at the base, obviously doesn't, but yeah, you're not gonna do anything to them. I carry, I mean, this park right here, while it is a lovely park, is somewhat infested with the homeless. So there you go. And the area around it, they sleep next to the freeway. They cut the chain link fence and they sleep next to the freeway, and do drugs and etc. Bring crime in. It's all fun. It's all good. But yeah, I'm not terribly worried about it. I wish people would stop concern trolling me, because I absolutely don't care. If you dox me, great. People have known where I've lived for years. I mean, that's why I'm not terribly careful. That's why I have shown this park. I don't care. I literally don't care. If you're gonna come for me, you're gonna come for me, and it doesn't matter how careful I am. People can find you. So, you know, whatever. I just don't care. I don't care, and your concern trolling doesn't scare me, and it doesn't impress me, and I'm still waiting to see that any proof that you actually own a firearm, concern troll. Put up or shut up. I'm tired of hearing you say trust me on this one. Put up or shut up. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.